Up in the Air is the new comedy starring George Clooney and Vera Farmiga. It's directed by Jason Reitman, and we're going to review it right after this.
Your husband, your wife, your home. We weigh ourselves down until we can't even move. Make no mistake, moving is living.
I'm not really sure how long this whole exercise is supposed to last. No, I don't even think of him that way. He's old.
Hi, I'm Eric from SceneStealers.com, and with us again is guest host Trevin McGee from Inc. KC.
Hello.
And today it's Up in the Air, which is this movie that's coming out right now at the end of the year.
The most important movie of the entire year.
You know, Jason Reitman has had a good history with Thank You for Smoking, and especially a couple years ago with Juno, came out right at the same time and really garnered a lot of attention, got him a Best Picture nomination. And this movie right now is really kind of pushing out ahead of the other ones with the National Board of Review win. It stars George Clooney as a corporate downsizer who goes to other people's companies and fires them because the bosses there don't have the balls to do it.
And business is booming right now.
Right. And so, you know, it really kind of ties into what's going on right now, you know, in the country.
For
it's
sure.
Really good
and he definitely plays with that. I mean, he being Jason Reitman, not George Clooney, he's completely aware of it. You know, he opens the movie with just headshots of people talking about being fired. And it turns out they are actually real people that have been fired as opposed to actors in the script. And you know, he ends the movie that way too, and I liked it, but
well, you and I talked about this before.
Yeah.
It is kind of, for me, it was a really interesting way to tie into what's going on now, but it also reminded me, and sorry, a little bit too much of When Harry Met Sally, where Rob Reiner had the real couples up there, real couples, probably actors as well, talking about their relationships. And you know what? It's an interesting touch in a movie that is really very witty. It moves fast, and some of the times it doesn't really do the things that you're expecting it to do. The chemistry between Clooney and Farmiga is really important to making this movie work.
It absolutely is tangible.
Follow me. Never get behind old people. Their bodies are littered with hidden metal, and they never seem to appreciate how little time they have left.
I think that this has a very traditional structure. I think some of the plot points are very rote. I think especially one major one.
Towards the end.
And so I think from a screenplay standpoint, this was really enhanced by the actors involved, and I think that Reitman did a really good job of directing it maturely.
I really liked that they didn't spell things out directly. They do let a lot of ideas kind of drift and let you make your own decisions on a lot of them. But there's this whole subplot of intimacy and him trying to reconnect with his family and all that, and that definitely, I mean, that almost feels like Home for the Holidays.
There's just a lot of ideas that I think are recycled, and they're recycled in the best possible way, and I do appreciate the semi-ambiguous ending, but I really don't think that there's as much going on in this movie as a lot of people have been talking about. I think it's tapped into a certain fear that people have. I know that you know, watching the movie, I felt a little bit myself. You know,
and
with the whole unemployment thing.
It is topical. I mean, it's definitely topical for that. I also think, honestly, it just kind of filled a void right now, because there's not a big awards movie right now that people are doting over. I think a lot of people that are going to see it and think like, oh, that was just so deep, you know, and it's not.
It's not really that deep. I mean, it's about a guy finding himself. I mean, it's really similar to a lot of other things that you've seen, and it doesn't insult you. And I think that's what people are coming up with. You know, this is so deep. It doesn't insult you. So maybe in that respect, it feels fresh.
Yeah, and it does give you enough to play with.
Up in the Air is the kind of Hollywood picture that they probably ought to make more often. You know what, though? The best thing I can say about it is that it doesn't insult your intelligence. That, to me, is a solid rock fist up and not a rock fist way up. This is not the best picture of the year.
I definitely agree with that, but I'm going to go ahead and give it a minor rock fist up.
Lower?
Yeah, I'm going to go lower, and the reason is because I think it's the perfect middle-of-the-road movie. It doesn't really challenge you. There are a few concepts that it lets you roll around, and there are a couple strong performances, but overall, it's just a little too familiar.
So you're a little up in the air, then, about Up in the Air. Yeah,